Have you ever wondered why many people find it hard to believe in God? Maybe you've struggled with your doubts too, but you're not alone here. But you're not alone today, though. I'm going to break down the biggest reasons why people find it hard to believe in God and what can we do about it. Let's go. One of the biggest reasons why people struggle is that they ask themselves this question: if God is good, then why do we suffer? Well, however, the Bible reminds us that suffering isn't a proof that God is not real. Suffering is a proof that we're living in a fallen world right now. People are falling into sin. People are dragging others into sin. Murders are happening. Adulteries are being committed. Believing in different gods and different genders. However, on the other hand, we have on Romans chapter 8, verse 28 reminds us that all things work for good for those who love God. So, if you notice, some people who do not believe in God, they struggle a lot. I'm one of these people. I struggled a lot before becoming a Christian. However, after I started seeking God more and more, um, I found that God is real. Like Jesus Christ and Christianity is the way and is the path, because after I found my way, I started liking my life more than I used to like it before as a Muslim. Um, Struggles sometimes and pain in our lives could not be something bad. God could send pain to our life to strengthen us, to make us aware of what could come next in our life. Sometimes people go through a breakup and then they just lock in. They say like, "Nah, man, I'm not locking. I would never fall for a girl in this way again." Well, if you want to take it this way, then take what's happening in your life as a message of God. God is telling you, do not fall into this problem or into this struggle again in this way. For example, for those who fall into lust, they see some random video on IG, Instagram, or TikTok of a random corn star woman. So they just get these thoughts in their minds, like, man, she's hell. Let me go watch her, and then they start hallucinating, and that's how the sin starts. Satan is trying to tempt you to fall into sin. Well, people sometimes throw this question: what proof do we have that God exists? Or how do you know that God is real? There is no proof that God is real. However, let me ask you this question: what proof do we have that love exists? Or what proof do we have that morality is real? We don't have no proof, but inside of us, we feel that they are there. And that's what's important, because as long as we feel that they are there and we confirm by many people seeing it, many people witnessing it, that's what's enough. That's a huge proof. In Romans chapter 1 verse 20 it says, for since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen. They have been seen by scientists. Now, if you go into any science lab and then you look into the cells, you will see that all of these specific information on all of these creations that are in the cells, hormones, cells, blood, and all that, you think that this came out of nowhere? Or if you look into physics, the equations that are in it are so specific that they tell you how things work. But shouldn't be a thing that tells you that there's no God. Science is pointing for you that there is God, but it's a way that people do not understand it. Wait, let me ask you this question then. How many times have you heard this? I don't believe in God because Christians are hypocrite. I believe that you have heard this many times from different people as well. Well, sadly, this is true. But this is some people claim to be Christians, but they do not believe in God, or I mean, they do not live like Him. However, Jesus has warned us about this in the Bible. In Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 says, be aware of the false prophets, for they come to you in sheep's clothes, but they inwardly are ravenous wolves. So People fail and then churches fail, but Jesus and his love never fails. So n- looking at some people is not a reason to hate a whole religion. Well, the truth is that sometimes people don't want to believe in God because they don't want God to change them. They don't want God to make them accountable. In John chapter 3 verse 19 says, "Men love the darkness rather than light because their deeds are evil." Sin can blind us. Every single sin can blind us, which could lead us to push away God from us. However, living in freedom isn't about running from God. It is about surrendering to God. It is about giving your soul and growing your heart closer to God. That's how you can start feeling the freedom. Now, in this world, we do not have freedom because they are controlling us. We are being controlled by what the people think of us, or by the sin, or by Satan's temptations towards us. However, many don't realize that unbelief isn't just an intellectual issue, but it's a spiritual issue. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 4 it says, "The God of this world, aka Satan, has blinded the minds of the unbelievers," because which is actually true. If you look now into scientists or any unbelievers such as Muslim people, that's an example, that's a huge example. They're trying to convert people. Now, if you go watch Aisha Speed's video, for example, Islam people converted Aisha Speed. I'm not gonna judge a whole Islam about it, but I know the truth of Islam. They converted Aisha Speed to Islam, which is the false religion, without him even knowing a single thing about it. So he was following the path of Christ. All of a sudden, he thought that, oh, Islam is something cool. Let me just follow it. But that's the thoughts of Satan. Like, get me more followers, let them follow me. I want to take them to hell. That's how Satan thinks, and that's how Satan make you think, but in a way that is a bit righteous to your sense. So people don't struggle with faith because they are spiritually blind. What do we do then when we struggle with belief? That's a very common question that new believers or old believers who are struggling with sin ask. Well, truly I tell you, the first thing you can do is seek the truth. Read the Bible. Look after the theologists, but do not take their word as the right word, because any theologist could take anything and just make it through his mind. They could take a verse from the Bible and then tell you, look how this verse was changed. They read the context, they know the context, but they're just changing stuff because they think that religion is right. So investigate the thing yourself, and then you have to pray for understanding. Ask God, and He will help you to clearly see what's around you. He will help you to see what's in the Quran and what's in the Bible. He'll help you see the difference, and then look at changed lives. Look at the power of God for those people that He changed his life. If you look now for videos about how many people had their life changed because of God on YouTube or any social media, you'll find a lot of people. Like, God had made miracles in their lives that has changed them from suicidal thoughts to a peaceful thoughts. He made them live a peaceful life just by letting them to get to know Him. And then, last but not least, be open. Doubt, doubt isn't the enemy, it's the unwilling to see the truth. So, if you're a Muslim or an atheist or a Buddhist, this doesn't mean you're just completely a sinner, but you're doubting. You don't want to seek the truth to know what's real. You might just argue and defend your religion by something that you know, but you haven't studied or investigated. Now, if you struggle to believe, let me know in the comments. What's the biggest reason that people you know do not believe in God? Let's talk about it in another video. And if you want to grow your faith, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with another person or your friends or your family. Let's walk this path to Christ together. Yeah,